So I've been doing a pantry challenge since the 11th of March and you've been following along, and now this is the last week, so let's do this.
For breakfast I ate a slice of bread and drank a lemon tea.
For lunch I reheated the pasta with chickpeas and peanut butter sauce, and Daniel's going to eat the chicken, peanut butter sauce, and he made rice, he cooked rice to add.
Don't really feel like eating, so I'm just going to drink lemon tea. I decided to make banana bread to use up frozen banana, but I didn't have any eggs, so I searched for a vegan recipe that called for a flax egg. I didn't have butter or enough coconut oil for the recipe, so I used olive oil. Instead of using almond milk that I didn't have, I used cow's milk. As for flour, I used all my almond flour, the last bit of self-rising flour, and that was still not enough to match the recipe flour content. And I ended up using potato starch as well, using up really everything. I normally grease my pans with butter and all-purpose flour, but didn't have any, so used olive oil and potato starch instead. My loaf pan was flaking, so I had to recycle it. So I've come to just use a cake pan to do this banana bread, and it's actually quite nice. I forgot to add chocolate chips, so threw them in there and mixed them up the best I could. The banana bread looked absolutely gorgeous, and yes, the chocolate chips ended up not being evenly distributed, but it's fine. While the banana bread was cooking, I made a simple dinner, bean curry with peas, served over a bed of rice.
Morning. For breakfast I'm going to eat the muffins that I made with pea pasta. I'm a bit afraid because I know they probably aren't as good. Yesterday I didn't have courage to try them out, so I will today. Let's see. Not the best thing ever, but I put frozen parsley that I add, and it really tones down the flavor of the pea pasta or the pea flour. I think I can eat this. Yay!
I made a giant pancake for Daniel with plenty of chocolate chips. For lunch I mashed up leftover potatoes and vegetables, added a bit of milk and panko breadcrumbs and formed it into a pancake, which I put in the same frying oil that was used for the risotto. So this is what I'm going to eat: a potato pancake, this risotto, and I actually opened up some pickles. The pickles are made with onions and beets. I made them, I think, 2 or 3 months ago. It was a way to add a bit of acidity to this very fried foodstuff. I'm aware this is not the healthiest meal, but it's what I have, so we'll enjoy it. I'm also going to eat the last 2 kiwis, so no more fruit left now. Daniel ate the tomato bean pasta from the previous Sunday. Banana bread. For dinner I started to fry some of the pickled onions. Since I didn't have any onions, this seemed a great idea. Then I added a can of tomatoes and lentils that I soaked for about 1 hour. Once the lentils were almost cooked, I added 1 chicken breast and let it cook after adding some seasoning, white pepper, smoked paprika and 1 bay leaf. Meanwhile, I mashed up the potatoes that were cooking while prepping the stew. I always add a bit of milk and butter to my mashed potatoes, but this time I only added milk. Once the stew was nice and thick, I added the mashed potatoes and put the pan in the oven for about 30 minutes. There should be less liquid in the stew, by the way, however, it was still really yummy. Breakfast was 2 savory muffins and 1 lemon tea. For lunch, I roasted 1 sweet potato with olive oil and salt and heated up the bean curry, and we'll be eating this. Daniel's going to eat the stew that I made yesterday. A slice of banana bread as an afternoon snack. For dinner, I used pumpkin that I had in the freezer and let it cook with a bit of olive oil. Once it was cooked, I moved it into a dish, and in the same pan, I added the chicken breast chopped up and let it cook. I added a bit of water halfway to avoid burning the pan, and the last tiny garlic clove to add some flavor. While all of this was cooking, I mashed up the pumpkin and added a bit of milk. I added this mix into the pan and also added the pasta. The pasta wasn't fully cooked. I wanted it to finish cooking with the flavor of the dish. Morning! So today I'm going to eat these savory muffins. I added a bit of cream cheese to add extra taste, and I'm actually drinking something else that's not a lemon tea. It's a ginger tea. I boiled grated ginger and for about 5 minutes, and this is my ginger tea. So for lunch we are going to eat the mashed potatoes with the stew, and for dessert, nothing. I didn't go grocery shopping, however, my dad just came here because he needed to do something for his business, and he gave me a ton of oranges, some lemons, and 1 bottle of canola oil, and a few rissoles croquettes, which is something that I ate earlier this week, and my mom knew that I didn't have those, and she just told me, well, you get them. Since she's trying to eat less fried food because of her gallbladder, or lack of gallbladder, she asked my dad to bring us, so we'll be having that for dinner. So it's not grocery shopping, but it's new food that's arriving to the house, so I thought that I would mention it. And they also gave me about, I think it's 16 eggs. I haven't counted them, it's just what my father has told me, so yay, we love eggs, and since they are eggs from their chickens, they are way better. And for now I'm just going to eat 2 oranges to celebrate because I love oranges and I was really missing them, so. My dad also gave me a bread which I ate with peanut butter. So I'm going to be eating these ones. It's rissoles made with fish, and these little ones are made with meat, and he's also going to eat with fish and with peas and rice, and we are out of frozen peas. I actually decided to add some pickles to mine. For breakfast I'm going to eat the last savory muffin with cream cheese and drink ginger tea. For lunch we are going to eat the shepherd's pie, and I'm going to also eat oranges for dessert. I'm going to eat a slice of bread with cream cheese as a snack. Deciding what to eat for dinner, and I found wheat berries that I bought in Peru last year in June, and I think that I'll need to throw them in the trash. I hate wasting food, but they are not okay, and I don't think they are safe to eat. Let me show you. For some reason the bag has a hole, and I didn't realize this. I should have put this in a jar, and it's gaining a little bit of weird colors, and I don't think it's safe to eat. And yes, I hate to waste food, but I also don't want to be unsafe for us to eat, and I always check that. It may seem that I eat a lot of things that have expired, but I make sure that they are okay before eating them, so
Just so you know.
For dinner, I soaked fresh lentils and cooked them in homemade broth that I had in the freezer. Added a bit of frozen parsley as well. Meanwhile, I had more pumpkin in the freezer, which went to the oven, which I then added to the lentils. Very simple yet delicious dinner. I decided to use up lemons and made a lemonade to drink with dinner. I need to do this more often, I really love lemonade. I already started to eat my breakfast, it will be bread with cream cheese. So today for lunch I'm going for something very simple. Since I'm craving vegetables, I'm going to make soup with stalks that I had in the freezer, a turnip that's about to go bad, and I'm also going to add 1 or 2 potatoes, and at the end I'll add egg, so it will be a bit like poached egg. Daniel's going to eat the pasta with chicken and pumpkin that I made a couple of nights ago. For dessert I'm going to eat the mandarins that my dad brought. I picked the ones that already had a little bit of the peel left out, so I can eat those first. As an afternoon snack I'll be eating bread, and since the peanut butter jar is almost empty, I'm going to put small pieces of bread in the jar and scoop it with a fork, making sure that I eat the whole jar. This is something that I did last week as well with cashew butter, and if you haven't seen that video already, please check it out, it's in the description box down below. And Daniel is going to eat the last bit of cream cheese with bread. Today for dinner I'm going to be making flatbread with black beans spread and 1 pork steak that I found in the freezer. I don't know how old it is, it looks fine, so I think it's okay. And I'm probably going to add 1 fried egg, and on top of that I'm going to use the potato peels and use them as fries for accompanying the flatbread. I'm also going to bake some brownies for Daniel. I don't like brownies, but he's really craving something sweet, and I'm happy to give him something so we can stretch this pantry challenge further. I'm going to use up the rest of the all-purpose flour, which is just tiny bit, and use oat flour in the remaining of the recipe. So it's going to be a healthier brownie, I guess. I also prepared earlier today sourdough crackers, but since I didn't have regular flour, I used cornmeal flour. I'm not sure how it's named in English. I'll try to see if they are good. For breakfast, ate expired natural yogurt, added almond, chia seeds, oats, and defrosted blackberry frozen cubes. Can you hear the rain? It's raining way too much. I'm going to eat some almonds because I just had a workout with some friends, and I think that I ate way too little at breakfast, so I need some almonds to restore before eating lunch. For lunch I made the rest of the flatbreads. I always use a glass jar as my rolling pin as I don't own one. They are sturdy and it's one less kitchen tool to store in my tiny kitchen. For the filling I fried 2 eggs, made a spread with the leftover yogurt that was used for the brownie, canned tuna, seasoned with salt and pepper. When the flatbread was cooked, I added all the ingredients together and lunch was ready. For snack I'll be eating 2 rissóis and 2 oranges. For dinner we are going to re-eat the rice with rissóis. I have no idea what to call it in English, but it's basically a fried dough with fillings. So meat, fish, vegetarian, I don't know. And I'm also going to add some pickles in my dish.
And that's it for today. I'm not going to eat any dessert. Thank you so much for watching. I really want to share what I eat to show you that recipes don't need to be constraints. They can help us understand, and we can make modifications without losing the flavors. We can reduce our food waste and save money by choosing what we have instead of buying always something that we required for a recipe. Sometimes we can make a simple substitution or modification and it works. So hopefully I've inspired you to get a little bit more creative in the kitchen, and if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!